Good evening. Well, tonight or today I'm going to speak about observability. First and foremost, I would like to thank you all for being here, for listening to me. Now, a bit of introduction about myself. So, my name is Ricardo. I'm the Principal DevOps Manager at Vodafone. I lead a team of DevOps and SRE. Our core game is all about automation. About myself, I'm a person that loves to eat. I have a small cat that usually it's my partner in crime. I play games, online games, and I like cars as well. And sometimes, now and then, I do some speaking, and I love to share knowledge and experience with all of you. For tonight, what we have. So, I'm going to speak with all of you about data. And the data is important to be related with AI. That is another topic that I'm gonna explain in a bit. I'm going to explain about observability and the importance, the data democracy, and what's going to be the future trends. For tonight, I'm going to try to be a little bit different. I would love to have your cooperation with me, because I think this topic is so new, so recent, that I don't believe yet that there is any kind of self-called experts about AI, because we are all dwelling through to see what is coming. Every day is coming something new, something untested, new models, new ways of doing. But if we look back, AI or machine learning or whatever you want to call it is nothing new. It's only the technology that now is allowing that we can advance. So therefore, it's the moment that we can all work on this and talk a little bit. I'm going to use you as my RAG model. Are you okay with this concept? Do you understand this concept? I hope so. Does anyone else against to be a RAG model here? You are fine with that? No one against? There isn't anything better than be a RAG model. Let's say if I'm your AI, I have my own, let's say, learning model, my core model, you are my RAG, so I'm going to get some extra information from you. What better way we could do that would be if you would be agents as well. Let's do an hybrid model tonight. You can be my agents, and hopefully not like these guys here. I hope you're going to be more nicer than them. Help me out in this journey. Okay, and I'd like to know more about what you think about data, how the data start. But then, before we get there, let me tell you a bit of a history. And the history is, well, as you can see, from the dinosaurs to not even the human, it was many, many years. So let's say, even before the 2000s, we know about the era of the ships, and before 2000 my era was about Spectrum 48Ks. Yeah, it was great, it was an awesome machine to play games like Shucky Egg. But then with the evolution of the hardware, things could be more faster, and there was a group of engineers that tried to transform the world about software engineering could be adapt and evolve in the business world. Therefore, we have the agile methodologies. This was the dawn of the Agile Manifesto. For the ones that remember this was a big thing, a big deal. But I'm not going to speak about it tonight, but this is an important mark. Does anyone knows what happened in 2009? Not really? Okay, but I'm going to give you a glimpse. The DevOps revolution started around that date. So we are here tonight about DevOps, I hope. Is anyone here that is not a DevOps engineer? Oh, okay. I've got some. Project managers. Do we have anyone in the room? Project manager? We have one. Oh, bless you. Don't take me wrong, but we'll get there. You'll get there. You're going to be a software engineer after this, probably a DevOps. Okay? You are in the right room for that. So next, we have monitoring evolution. Something that is important in the DevOps world is about data. The same happens with AI. AI didn't exist if we didn't have data, and data is really important. Well, there are several ways of conveying data. Right now, I'm passing you the data that I've got in this message, but you are my agents, and therefore you are getting live data, and you can have your own, let's say, your autonomy of thinking about the data that I'm passing you as my agents. But I'm still talking about the monitoring evolution. Monitoring, it was when we start to have, let's say, tools that were giving us some metrics, some logs. I remember that back in 2000s, the logs were a bit chaotic back on the days. I'm not even go to COBOL. There is anyone here that worked with COBOL or Fortran? No? Apparently I'm the only one. Oh, but that's Splunk is just. I'm going back. COBOL, I'm going to the 90s and 80s. Well, then afterwards we had observability, that then the Splunk start. That was the Splunk. But that was mid-2010, more or less. And then now we have the AI hype, the LLM rise. So as you can see, there was an evolution in the world of DevOps, because I honestly believe the DevOps start with agile methodologies, honestly, because was when the first concepts of the philosophy that DevOps we have nowadays of having a true team working together and having the complete the development life cycle under them, regardless if they are testers, DBAs, operation, dev, but working together, that started there. And now we are here with LLM rise that is really, really important for our future of the DevOps. At least that's what I understand. Does anyone could guess what could come here after that? It's not a $1 million question, but it's just a normal question, because if it was $1 million, well, I wouldn't be here. Probably somewhere warmer. Does anyone has an opinion? Come on. Be replaced by AI? Well, not yet, but we'll get there. That's the future. The project manager, I'm curious. Bless him.
Maybe like AI is taking over management?
AI taking over? No, it's going to be even worse than that, my friend. Worse than that.
Human and robot coexistence.
That could be true. Actually, funny enough, making this joke, there are philosophers that saying that if AI one day be science and gets a soul, well, I say good morning to my vacuums, by the way. I'm already getting ready for this moment. So every day I pass good morning, sir. We never know. I don't believe we're going to get to the Arnold thing, but probably, honestly, playing with a bit, because I'm a bit trekkie, space will be the final frontier. About being without job, going back to the people thinking that we're going to be without job, I don't think that's true. If you see the evolution of IT or even in industrial revolution, we need to shape our skills. And our skills going to evolve in a way that probably we're going to be in our Star Trek seeing new worlds. So it's not panic mode, it's more reshaping the way we work and be prepared to the way we work and be embraced to the future. If we don't embrace this future, we're going to stay behind. And that is a bad thing, especially in technology. Things evolve really fast in a very quick pace. Now, for the project, this slide is for you, my friend, for project manager, don't take me wrong. Just explain a bit the difference between monitoring and observability. About the metrics, these are really important. We have logs, metrics, trace, and events. That is our baseline or our raw data that, let's say, could feed an intelligent system. Let's call it intelligent. On the AI, we have several disciplines. Majority of them, machine learning. We have the neural networks, and we have the future that, well, we don't know where we're going yet, but this is the now moment. So, before I focus on observability, do we have here any Scrum Master? No Scrum Master. Okay, back-end developers? I love back-end developers, by the way. No, not you, sir, you last one, sorry. You a back-end developer in the back? What is the stack that you use?
Right now?
Yes.
Mainly Go.
Mainly Go.
Mainly Go on the GCP.
I'm gonna speak with you in the end because I like Go. I'm not using as much as I would love to, but on Go, What are you using for tracing events, if I may know?
For tracing open telemetry,
Mm-hmm.
and for events, nothing
Nothing yet.
specific.
And OpenTelemetric helps you on observability.
Yes, but mainly for traces.
Mainly for traces.
Metrics it doesn't have implemented.
But you do the correlation?
Sorry?
How do you do the correlation when you develop a Go application?
Traces and spans.
And that helps you. You don't see only the metrics, you see the entire landscape. That's where I want to go.
Yes, so it's distributed tracing, basically. Yeah, with traces and individual spans. But that's only metrics.
Exactly. Thank you, sir. But with the monitoring, you only see what? Go is on the era already of observability. But before, we just were seeing the metrics. Now with observability, it's the behavior of the system from external outputs. It's pretty much that the difference. But I don't want to spend much time here because, more importantly, will be about what is data democracy. I do believe that this is a really important step if you want to evolve for AI. By the way, this talk that I'm providing to you and this sharing with you, it's not relating with AI, but it's more about DevOps and AI. So I'm telling you a little bit of a story about evolution and about I do believe we can evolve as a DevOps engineers. Data democracy, we know is really important as a DevOps or SRE to know if we are, let's say, to understand how the system is behaving in the different components. Let's say you have a system, forget the monoliths for now, but the microservices, loads of microservices. Imagine if you only have the data from one microservice and not from the rest. That's bad. How are you going to know the entire landscape? The other thing that is important about the data democracy is about sharing between teams. This is usually a blocker because people fight among them, try to hide them. But I believe on the concept of the 90s that IT, and especially DevOps, is a culture of sharing. Because if you share with others, that's why you can learn more as well. You're not alone in this community. You need to receive feedback, and especially on DevOps, that is more than 200 tools. Come on, there is no one that could call, I'm the big boss of DevOps. I know everything. Let's send me to an interview. No, that's impossible. That doesn't exist as such. Well, I don't have an AI chip yet. I don't know what they're going to invent next. Probably if they invent such a chip, then I can say I'm a top-notch expert. Now, data democracy about the cultural in the teams, in the cultural bit, fosters about to improve together as a unit. So the value is, as a global, you are stronger than one person. And on AI bit, if more sources it receives, more stronger will become. Now, what is going to enable? To enable this, you need to making the data needs to be accessible. Observability going to enable democracy, because to have observability, you need to see the different, let's say, scopes from your system. If you just see one scope, you don't have observability. And in impact, a positive impact in the culture. Now, challenge in data democracy. Which one from these four for you would be the most impacting challenge in the data democracy? Front-end engineers, do we have any? No front-end? Okay, so, sir, can I ask you then, which one of these four you would say the most impacting one for data democracy?
Data tool overload.
Why?
Well, there's too many different tools to choose from.
All right, and what about the data? If you got a front end all cluttered with too much data and receiving data from everything, would be all right with you? So you think this is the most impactful, right?
Yes, also yes, handling messages.
What about data silos? Oh, it's okay. All right, you sir, please.
Current project I'm working on, we're having to establish a new Microsoft Azure tenant because there were data to be kept within the European Union, and that's taking forever because of all these security concerns. So that's like 6 months a day.
I'm with you. I feel that as well, like almost every day, by the way. Okay. Any other? That lady there, please.
I think it's very often cultural resistance. What I've experienced in the teams before, it was really very hard to get any of the teams sharing information.
I love that.
That's been my most challenging.
Especially inside of the same company and sometimes inside of the same vertical. And that's horrible. And that's a big blocker. You, sir.
Yeah, I was going to say culture as well, because people don't like changing.
That's a human trait, by the way.
Yeah.
But that's a human trait that we as a DevOps engineers, we need kind of to shape ourselves, not to be those blockers. We really need to evolve with the technology. What about data silos? Is nobody talking about... we have one.
Data silos are driven by politics. It's
Ooh.
my data, it's my realm. I'm the king of this small team of...
It's a bit of this.
I don't want to give you my data because it's mine.
Yeah, and it's a bit of data silos in a mix with cultural resistance. And if on the top of that, you're going to have the security, oh gosh, and not forgetting about the overload of data. So in my humble opinion, I'm afraid, and I feel this every day, it's these four vectors. There is no one that is more than the other one. You will find, in a way or another, these four are always present. Probably some in a more expression than the other ones, but you always have these four around you. You cannot escape. And this is really important, that you need to raise this awareness to understand, because our realities are different from company to company, and the maturity of the DevOps teams and the security that you have in your company, the bureaucracy that you have in your company as well. So if it is a bureaucracy thing, you focus about, let's say, a way to cut that bureaucracy. You need to be resilient. You always find a way. Given that example, politics of silos, that is a way. The engineers love to talk with engineers. So skip the middleman. Take out the Scrum Masters, or take out, not that sir there, the project manager. It's going to be a good DevOps. But the project managers. Speak between the engineers, because we all speak the same language. So no politics. But in a way, these four vectors are always present. And these are the risks for the data democracy and for the future of the DevOps. Now, AI's role in observability and data democracy. So as you know, now Google is not more a thing, it's more about, well, I'm at Microsoft, I don't, gosh, you didn't hear this. So going back, rewinding the tape without doing any brand. So we don't do the normal searching on the internet anymore. Now we'll go to those LLM without saying any brands and do our research bit. But guess what? We can have that in our own systems, the queries. Do you remember the SQL databases, that you have those queries, blah, blah, blah. I'm not mentioning the Microsoft SQL, by the way, the SQL globally, the relationship databases. Well, now you very easily can say with your own words, what is the environment that's spending more money or CPU overload? Well, that's the future. This one is a really good one, because anomaly detection. Before, anomaly detection would be when the customer sends you an email saying, oh, the system is down. Now you can have a system that actually, take a note, in 2 days' time, the system could be down. And even more, but I will go to the next. MTTR. This is something that I see across several teams that I know. When you start to use AI in your own interest for the DevOps world, the MTTR is usually cut by half, and I'm not exaggerating, because of the predictability, that things of patterns that you cannot see, and more easily the AI will detect those. But again, for AI to detect, what you need to do? Train. What you need to give to the AI? Data. So observability and having the clean data is a really important aspect to all of these. It is really the foundation to enable this. And then AI-driven alerting and AIOps platforms. I will visit this AIOps term in a moment. But now it's time for AI heads up. We have dangers and risks about this. Bless Picard, I'm starting to be like him, as you see. It's too much issues, too much problems, too much security. Bless us all, but, well, it is what it is. With a new revolution like AI, we can call it revolution, new dangers are coming and we have the awareness, and security teams, they have whistles and bells like, you are putting our company in jeopardize, no, you shouldn't do this. Well, that depends about the maturity of the teams that you have. But anyway, not talking about security, how often you listen about this one, carbon footprint of AI? Not many people talk about this. Why? This is a big hype. Everyone wants to use AI. Why not? But then they forgot, oh, I want to have an electric car at home because it's nice for the environment. Let me see. AI, if I do an image, like everyone now is doing image, like funny images, you are aware that an image in some milliseconds give you an answer. In that millisecond is the same as a full smartphone, the battery. Not do the maths. I don't need to do the maths. Do we really have the capacity for such? And now let's go to the domino effect. If we're going to use that much energy that we don't have, so we don't have enough solar panels for all of that, obviously. Not enough nuclear power plants for all of that, obviously. But if we have, well, we need to refrigerate. Let me see my CPU. Well, it's a bit warm, yeah. But can you imagine what is the Joule effect for just a small query on AI? They need to put water or other ways of cooling. Again, do we have all of that in this planet? I think AI should be used with a bit of more criteria than you're using right now. By the way, I believe the AI should be kind of free for all, for everyone to use. I'm not putting any blockers. But right now, with the technology that we have, I really do believe it shouldn't be open for everyone. It should only be for professionals and for the big corporations to have a better way to work with this carbon footprint before they enable to everyone. We have teenagers, we have kids using, like if they were open, YouTube videos. Come on, they are having a way bigger carbon footprint than a diesel car. And everyone complains about diesel cars, and I don't get why. But, well, it's me, by the way. Let's go for the next one then. Data forgery. If you don't protect your systems well, it's very easy. Well, let me see you have your model. Let's see what you have there inside. Let's say an engineer is using, you can write some retraining in your model very easily. Something that the engineer thinks that is innocuous, but then let's say an actor that is a threat actor, we don't know, is a shady person, goes there, oh, I can have your bank accounts, I can have your details, your address very easily. We need to be careful with that. We have new security issues that we not even are aware of right now. We heard every day something new is coming about. We know the deep fakes, we know about, gosh, it's a universe of new things. But we need to be prepared. By the way, I don't want to scare you out. It's just we need to take measures on that. And we need to understand with all new technology like cars. In the beginning, cars, everyone was saying was safe until the first, let's say, run over that happened in New York. And then, we need to start to put some measures with the cars because there are people walking as well along the cars. And that's how it starts. With AI, we should do exactly the same. It's not the end of the day. It's like the invention of the cars. Economic impact. This is more about how people are ready or not to embrace this new world that is coming. And this is really important. I heard some of you saying that we're going to be out of jobs. I don't believe that. I really don't. Some, yes, I've been reading articles, people being, this is going to be the end of the world, everybody going to be, the economy going to stop. No, I really don't. I'm not for it. Data says, misinformation, you know what about the misinformation, and most important, some philosophers are saying, Skynet is coming. They're saying that the danger that we have about AI is uncontrolled AI. Well, still not there. Now, the future trends. So we're going to have the increased use of generative AI, as I mentioned, predictive capabilities, I mentioned already, and most important, continuous integration of observability and AI into the software development lifecycle. And this is now, and this is needs to happen now with all of you. I recommend you start small and learn with small baby steps and gain that maturity with your team. About the future, as soon as hardware gets better and improves their capacity, I really do believe the DevOps going to cease of exist and going to be Dev AI. Well, you heard Dev 3 Dev 5, DevSecOps, This is going to be the future, Dev AI. With that, Web 3.0. I can leave that for another day and explain more because I'm almost without time, but this is what I believe that will happen. Ah, you're sticking. Now, Q&A. Do I have time for Q&A?
If we get people to ask you questions at the end.
Yes, so if you have any questions in the end, just raise it. I hope you enjoyed. If not, well, see you next time. Thank you.